Today on Fresno State Focus, we take a look at a fundraiser for breast cancer through the eyes of the Untitled Chapter.
Plus, the fires that have destroyed thousands of homes in Northern California with hundreds of people missing.
And we take a look at the rich history of the Big Fresno Fair. Fresno State Focus starts now. The Fresno State Focus. I'm Matt Roby.
And I'm Eliza Navarro. California is burning. 22 fires are burning right now up and down the state. The most destructive in state history are north of the Bay Area and around the wine country. To see the damage is surreal. Some who lost their homes say their neighborhood looks like Mars. The flames move so fast, a football field length in 3 seconds. People had little time but to grab a few things and get out. But more than the buildings, it's the loss of the life that is making this so heartbreaking.
Miss her. We were all waiting for her to show up at Gold Eagle, where we all went to after we were evacuated, and she never showed.
21 people have lost their lives in these fires. Governor Jerry Brown declared a state of emergency for 8 counties with about 170,000 acres burned. At least 3,500 homes and businesses are destroyed and 22,000 people have been evacuated. CAL FIRE says the fires are moving at a phenomenally fast rate. Winds are not helping with this. The National Weather Service predicts up to 45-mile-an-hour winds for today and tomorrow. The Trump administration is seeking almost $577 million to help fight these fires. You may notice smoke in the air here in the Central Valley. It's coming from these fires and has even caused the sun to turn red in many places. And just late this afternoon, both Fresno and Clovis Unified School Districts canceled all outdoor activities because of the unhealthy smoky air.
We have new updates on the Las Vegas shooting that left 58 people dead and hundreds hurt. Police say that before the gunman opened fire on thousands of people at the concert, he shot a security guard in the Mandalay Bay Hotel just before 10 o'clock, 6 minutes before ambushing the crowd of people. Officers also found that the gunman was shooting rounds that can set things on fire. Officers say that the bullets were not only found in his hotel room, but near the airport fuel tanks.
For the first time in history, the Boy Scouts is now accepting girls. Girls between the ages of 7 and 10 will be able to join Cub Scouts beginning next year. A separate program for older girls will be announced next year and is expected to be available by 2019. Cub Scouts dens will be given the choice of all boy and all girl or mixed groups. The Boy Scout organization says that it strives to develop character and leadership in both boys and girls.
It seems as though there's always construction happening at Fresno State, and maybe for good reason. I took a look around campus at some recent renovations and found out what upgrades students can look forward to for the next year.
And then a lot of the other stuff that we have around here is a lot of sort of random genetics equipment that I've collected.
Dr. Jacob Wenger shows me around his lab in the Jordan Agricultural Research Center, pointing out some of the state-of-the-art equipment that makes his research possible.
It's really difficult to overstate how important these laboratories are.
This impressive building was opened this year as part of an effort to renovate and modernize the campus, and the space is a huge improvement for Dr. Wenger and his students.
So to have an actual lab is, just a tremendous improvement over having nothing. So, and then on top of that, to have a lab that is equipped with such great equipment.
Across campus, the newly updated Social Science Quad gives students an outside area to study and hang out.
I mean, we're standing in the middle of the quad right here. If you look around, you already see students sitting all over the place.
Both students and faculty have been taking advantage of the new renovations on campus. So what can we expect to see in the future? This August, President Castro announced the $26 million renovation project that would focus on improving classrooms that hadn't been changed in over 20 years.
We're moving the needle. There's a lot we need to still do. I mean, many of our buildings were built in, the 50s, 60s, 70s, and many of them have not had major renovation.
Buildings scheduled for upgrades include agricultural sciences, McLean Hall, and social sciences, as they hope to transform lecture halls like this into this. $10 million of the budget is going towards both the North and South gyms, and another $5 million will be spent on renovating other old buildings and classrooms on campus.
Homecoming week is here and the festivities are underway at Fresno State. It takes so much work behind the scenes to make homecoming the exciting week it's known to be, whether it's entering contests to win tickets to the football game or winning a free shirt. There's a lot to keep students engaged and connected to their school.
So homecoming for us, it's like a big tradition here on campus. We want to encourage students to feel pride to be a Bulldog, and we are Fresno State, so we're trying to encourage students to have pride on their campus and celebrate with us this homecoming season.
This week there's a spirit craft night, and even Adam Devine is coming for a comedy show. There's also the football game this Saturday against New Mexico and a lip sync battle tonight in the Satellite Student Union. It's homecoming week and students have been celebrating all week long. Asen Hayter joins us now to talk about the festivities. Hello, Asen, how are you?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for being with us. So tell us a little bit about homecoming week. What's happening?
We have a lot going on right now. Tonight is lip sync. It's going to be huge. We have the Greek community coming together, and we love to get involved with ASI as other organizations to bring, just a wonderful event. Tomorrow, Adam Devine is coming, and it's going to be our first big show in like a really long time. I don't think Fresno State has ever had a homecoming, show. So this is like a big stepping stone for Fresno State in general. So it's going to be huge. It's going to be very funny. He was in Workaholics, Pitch Perfect. He's been around. It's going to be great. We also have Friday, we have a soccer game. Women's soccer are taking on UNLV at 7 p.m. So we're excited about that as well. And then Saturday, the big homecoming game, as we all know. ASI is hosting a free tailgate for students, which you can come and get free food, free tickets, t-shirts, play games. It's going to be great. Then we have our big kickoff at 7 p.m. We're going to win this great game against New Mexico. And then afterwards, maybe even a fireworks show. So we're really stoked.
Wow, so you guys have a lot going on this week. Can you compare that to last year? Was it as busy with so many events?
You know what? Actually, last year was my first year here at Fresno State as a transfer student. And just comparing the two, I mean, with having this show, with Adam Devine and like all these things going on in campus, I would say this is only getting bigger and bigger as Fresno State really takes things to the next level. So
and are you going to be there tomorrow night?
Of course. I'm going to be there every single day. It's going to be amazing. We hope to see you guys all there, and we're really excited.
Nice. And for next year, do you guys have any plans to make it even bigger, bring someone as big, or what do you guys have in mind maybe?
Definitely. Some goals of ASI is to probably bring some people, maybe even like T-Pain or Lil Yachty to come and by and, perform a concert for Fresno State students. Where only Fresno State students and alumni and staff are allowed to come. This is really exclusive for just people of the Fresno State community. And it's really cool to see just all the different groups of people that come together around this time, It's really something special. So we're hopefully going to get a W, have a great time. We're really excited.
Nice. And when you were here last year, it was your first year at Fresno State. So what was your experience as your first homecoming week, your first year here at State, and then being a part of it now as chief of staff? So what can you differentiate with that?
So back then, I was just a fan, just here to have a good time, go see the game. And, it was a very fun experience. And, to be here behind the scenes, to see everybody working hard, my appreciation, I'd probably say, would be taken to that extra step. And just seeing all the big things that are just happening this week on top of that, and it just shows the progress Fresno State is taking, and that's one thing I can be very excited for, and very excited for Fresno State students for the future.
Nice.
So.
And you said that this year you guys are going all out, obviously. How long did it take to prepare? I mean, you guys are bringing Adam, so.
Oh, it's been all summer, all year long. We have a great team that's been put together with different staff and, different departments. So it's been a long battle. It's homecoming week. We're really excited, and I can't emphasize that enough,
And what was your part in all of this? The official big thing that you worked on? The
official big thing I worked on was just hearing from students, try to get them what they want, try to have a big show. So just kind of behind the scenes and help fund everything. And also the tailgate, which is we're also super excited to have.
Nice.
So if you don't have a ticket, please go buy a ticket. And if you still don't have a ticket, come by the ASI tailgate. We'll have free food and a chance to win those last minute tickets. So it should be a really good time.
Awesome. Anything else you want to tell anybody before we close this up?
Go Dogs.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so much.
We've been speaking with Asen Hayter, Chief of Staff, telling us about exciting homecoming week. And I hope you're hungry. Coming up on Fresno State Focus, Campus Point gets a couple of new restaurants. We'll check them out and see what people think.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
This is our Fresno State, forming relationships and learning experiences that last a lifetime, making friends who are like family, learning from professors who treat us like family, and earning a degree to make a better future for our family. Engaging our alumni generation by generation by generation. This is our Fresno State. Welcome to the family.
More new restaurants are being added right now at Campus Point. If you're craving a burger or a burrito, you'll find it there. Five Guys, which serves home-style burgers, is now open and ready to serve. And workers are putting the finishing touches on Que Pasa Mexican Cafe. The chain started in Bakersfield and bills itself as a place where you can find authentic home-style Mexican cooking.
Because they had nice seats in the theater, and then we came, and then as a result, we ate at one of the restaurants and thought, this is good. We have a place in Clovis.
Campus Point is still developing. There are many open lots still available for local business.
It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the Valley is coming together to support those affected. But as Vanessa Romo shows us, the awareness is year-round for a group here in Fresno.
To protect them and to protect me.
Praying and playing. Teams from all over the Valley came to Buchanan High School this weekend to knock breast cancer out of the park. But it is Fresno County's Pink Hills that brings it home every time.
The mission of Pink Heels is to bring love, hope, and support to anybody in our community that is battling any type of a life-threatening disease.
Visiting homes of women from all over the Valley, Pink Hills brings that love, hope, and support in truckloads.
Painted pink and sirens on. This is one of the many fire trucks that Pink Hills brings to the homes of the women affected by breast cancer.
We can put a smile on someone's face that may not have much longer to live, or that is in the middle of their battle, or that has, kicked cancer's butt and is doing well.
In between radiation and surgery, Vicki Hampton is one of the women who was surprised by the trucks and crowds like these gathered around her.
Very discouraged and tired of the whole cancer battle, so it was such a motivation to have so many people come to my home, and they all prayed, and it was unbelievable.
From the Clovis Fire and Police Department to family, friends, and strangers coming together for home visits, it impacts all involved.
See that feeling that they get when they see all these people that are complete strangers taking time out of their day to come, say hello and wish them the best. It's instant. It's like a drug. You're just immediately hooked, and you want to continue doing it and helping these people.
One way to help. Pink Hills will be hosting their 5th annual Hills Denim Dinner Dance this Saturday in an effort to raise more money. Vanessa Romo, Fresno State Focus.
The Pink Heels event will again be this Saturday at Starlight Grove Events in Clovis, out past Academy Avenue. Joining us today is Lewis Hampton, Vicki's husband. Thank you very much for being here, Lewis.
Thank you.
I'd first like to ask, how are you and Vicki doing?
Well, we are doing really well. She has beat cancer, 6 months cancer-free. Got her hair back. It did come back in a different color. She is a natural blonde, and it came back in black. So she's had to dye her hair to go back blonde. So we're glad to have that portion behind us.
It's fantastic. Can I ask you, what was it like when you found out that cancer had entered your home?
When you go to the doctor and you're sitting there with the doctor and they drop the C word on you, the cancer word, they also tell you it is a life-threatening disease. It kicks you in the gut. You walk out of there, and I'm telling you, when you walk out of that doctor's office, you look at life differently, and I mean immediately from when you walk out of that office.
In what ways did it change both your and Vicki's life?
You know, it changed just the way we look at the overall life itself. You know, we became, you know, more involved, more helpful, slow down and enjoy life. It's a very fast-paced world that we live in, so you need to slow down and enjoy what you got. I've been married to this lady 38 years next month. She was the love of my life 38 years ago, and she is still drop-dead gorgeous today.
So how did the support of Pink Heels impact both you and Vicki?
Pink Heels came to our house. We actually, when I found out Pink Heels was coming, Vicki did not know. We kept it a secret. I thought this whole time that when Pink Heels came that they were bringing the fire truck. I'm going to tell you now, Pink Heels does not do anything in a small fashion. When Pink Heels came to our house, the way our neighborhood is set up, you can get to my house in either direction. Pink Heels came. They bought the pink fire truck, the pink patrol car, the pink motorcycle, and they came in one direction, and the other direction was Clovis PD. I believe there was 2 patrol cars, and the Clovis Fire Department hook and ladder. When they entered our neighborhood, they came from 2 different directions, and they hit the sirens blaring, and it looked like they were coming to do a raid at our house. And when they got to the front of our house, everybody on my driveway stepped back, and Vicki was down there by herself. Every one of these people, and I didn't even know this was happening, had gotten behind the fire truck, and every single one of them came out one at a time and gave my wife a pink rose. It was an unbelievable experience, and I still tell people about it to this day. They are an amazing organization. They definitely lift you up when you are really down. Vicki was still going through the chemo treatments at the time when they had came. So she had 4 chemo treatments and 36 radiations and surgery. She's doing really good.
Sounds like an amazing experience. What advice can you offer to some families that have recently had cancer enter their life?
You got to follow the directions of the doctor. Don't go on the internet. Do not believe what you see on the internet. I actually told Vicki she couldn't look anymore, and at our work, our computers are locked down pretty good, so I actually talked to our IT guy and said, you know, can you open it up a little for me so I can see? And I looked one day and I called him back. I said, okay, shut it back off. Don't look on the internet. Talk to your doctor, listen to your doctor.
So how do you and Vicki plan to be involved in this weekend's Pink Heels event?
Actually, we're going to a wedding, so we won't be there this weekend. We're going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. We were at the Pink Heels event this past weekend where we did the wine walk in downtown Clovis. So I was there working that with them, and we also worked the fair Sunday where we were at the booth for the pink cow. It's not a real cow, just so everybody knows. It's a big pink plastic cow.
Well, thank you very much for being with us here today, Lewis.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing your experience. We've been talking with Lewis Hampton, husband of a very strong woman and a breast cancer survivor.
Coming up in sports, Derek Carr looks to step back onto the field this weekend after a recent back injury.
Plus, your Fresno State Bulldogs are 2-0 in conference play, fresh off of a win against San Jose State.
And wrestling is back. Stay tuned to see wrestling's first official practice since being reintroduced as a team to Fresno State.
I got the Bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that Bulldog spirit up in my head. Up in my head to say. I got that Bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that Bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that Bulldog spirit down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit up in my head, deep in my heart, down in my toes. I got that Bulldog spirit all over me to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit
deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart, deep in my heart. I got that Bulldog.
Welcome back. I'm Elizabeth Carrillo with a look at sports. Word around Oakland is former Fresno State Bulldog Derek Carr is ready to make a comeback. Carr was forced to watch from the sideline as the Raiders lost big to the Baltimore Ravens. Head coach Jack Del Rio is hopeful he'll be back under center this weekend. The Raiders take on the LA Chargers at home this Sunday. The Fresno State Bulldogs took on the San Jose Spartans in a battle for the Valley Trophy on Saturday. The Mountain West rivals met in Spartan territory in the second game of the conference. Running back Ronnie Rivers put the Dogs up early with 2 big touchdown runs in the first half. The Dogs continued the high-energy play with a couple of interceptions by Jerron Bryant and Juju Hughes. The Bulldogs defense set the tone for the 4 turnovers. Dogs win big, 27-10. The Dogs now 2-0 in conference play. Fresno State faces off against the New Mexico Lobos this homecoming Saturday at Bulldog Stadium. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. The women's soccer team roller coaster of a season continues. After a loss against the New Mexico Lobos and a tie in double overtime against the San Diego Aztecs this past weekend, the Bulldogs are back at home Friday. The number 8 ranked Bulldogs match up against the number 2 ranked UNLV Rebels. Here to talk with us about Friday's homecoming game are sophomore midfielders Tori, Nicolo, and Melissa Ellis. Thank you for being here, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so Tori, being a midfielder, what kind of action do you like to see on the field?
As a midfielder, I feel like I'm really just there to distribute the ball to everyone. Being in the middle of the field, I feel like we're constantly just in the play, like no matter where it is, because like we're constantly trying to just pass it up the field, or we have to make it down to defend. It doesn't matter like who you're marking, like you just need to do your job, and I feel like it's nonstop, it's constant when you're a midfielder. I mean, and I feel like for any position, running is always a big thing in soccer, so yeah.
Melissa, also a midfielder, how would you say your experience differs?
Well, it is similar because it is a lot of running, but it's a little different for me because I'm a wide mid instead of in the center. So my main responsibility is to get the ball, take a defender one-on-one, and then get on the flanks and try to get a cross off and put the ball in the box for my other players. But I also have to be dropping back all the time too and helping out my outside backs or my center mids, deal with forwards or other attacking mids. So it's definitely a really fun position, and I really like it.
So you guys are from the same hometown, Livermore, and you guys played together for a while. How does that help you be on Fresno State Bulldogs?
Well, it's really fun, actually, because I feel like coming into college is hard for one, and playing a sport is also just, you're always doubting yourself, or you're having a good week or a bad week, but having like your best friends that you've known forever just helps you feel so comfortable and accepted. And we have a really good team chemistry on the team, whether I've met these girls a day ago or met them years ago. So it's really cool to meet new people, but also have people from back home.
Yeah, I would say it was scary to come into college soccer because you hear all these stories like, oh, it's so much running, oh, the coaches are mean, oh, like the girls are mean, but I think my experience here has been like a dream. Like coming in with girls that I've played with since middle school, like it's so awesome. Like I've met a lot of girls here that I know will stay with me my whole life, and it's just really nice to also come into school with girls that I've known for a long time too. And I think it really shows on the field because playing with people that you've played with for a while, your team chemistry, like I think benefits from that because you guys have known each other for a while, you know the style of play, so I think it's really helpful for the team.
And with homecoming coming up, how have the dynamics of practice changed because of the last outcomes of the game?
Well, I think definitely practice this week has become way more intense, and that's not a bad thing. It actually, I feel like, has fired our team up because UNLV, they're a tough team. They're really good players, but we definitely owe them something from last year because that game was tough. But I think this year, with all of the fire under us, we're really going to take it to them, and I think we're going to get our redemption.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like not only is homecoming about just trying really hard for your school and each other, it's just kind of a cool atmosphere. We've also been wanting a win for a while, and we're just really working hard together to get that in practice, whether that's just putting in fitness or encouraging each other all the time. So practices have been a lot more intense, but it's definitely a good thing.
Yeah. Well, good luck, girls, this weekend against UNLV, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with sophomore midfielders Tori, Nicolo, and Melissa Ellis. Wrestling is making its comeback to Fresno State after being cut from the school's winter sports programs for the past 10 years. Practice for the team officially started yesterday, and the team has high hopes for its returning season. Coach Troy Steiner wasted no time getting the wrestlers on the mats for sparring drills. The home opener against Illinois is scheduled for November 17th at the Save Mart Center. The team hopes to see a strong fan turnout to help welcome the program back. That's a look at sports. Back to you, Eliza.
Thank you. The Big Fresno Fair is finally here, and there is always so much to do. There is one special place that holds the rich history of the fair itself. It's like taking a little trip back in time. So picture this. All of Fresno Fair's history and artifacts are here in this one room for you to come and see. At the corner of Fresno and California Avenue is the Big Fresno Fair Museum that opened its doors in 2013. It has more than 4,600 items on display, showcasing the history and changes that the fair has taken over decades.
It's just wonderful to watch this grow and have things in and have people relate to it. It's wonderful.
Dennis Forel has been the main docent since the museum opened.
And 4 years ago, when this museum opened, John Alkire, our fair manager, asked me if I would be willing to be the docent for this museum, and I will tell you, I am honored.
For him, the museum is a lot more than just history. He helped authenticate an old-style bicycle from 1872 that now holds a place in the museum.
I'm pleased to be able to be here and share the history of the fair and to everybody who comes on through.
Bruce Taylor, another docent, also enjoys sharing the history that fills this room. It reminds him of his own past.
Over in the corner there's that switchboard. That's part of this fair. It was used here. My grandmother, she went to work. Her first job was an operator for the phone company, and she worked on a switchboard exactly like that. So it's personal.
For Moses Garcia, not only does he share knowledge as a docent, but soaks it in as well.
And then they turn around and give me a little history of it too, because they're from Fresno and they know some of the stuff that's in here.
As you can tell from these docent stories, the Big Fresno Fair Museum isn't just any museum. It's a cherished timeline of our city, filled with rich history to share, connect, and learn from.
I would love to be here to the end of my days. I will tell you the truth. It is fun, it's enjoyable, the little information to be able to impart that history to other people.
The fair is filled with many things to see and do: fair animals, rides, deep fried food, and a lot of crafts. The last day is Sunday, October 15th. And have you guys been to the fair?
It was actually my first time going Thursday. There wasn't too many people, so I kind of liked it just because I feel like that might have been a little bit overwhelming. Got my funnel cake. Did you get to go yet?
Yeah, I went on Friday actually, but yeah, it's all about food for me. I don't know about you guys.
I like getting on rides, but I don't know if I'm going to go. All the accidents that have happened, I'd rather go to Six Flags or something. But I want to go for the food. I do want to go for the food.
A little risk. You only live once.
I do want to go for the food, though.
Next week on Fresno State Focus, we will look at resources on campus for students in need.
Plus, we talked to a man who donated his hair to help kids with cancer.
Also, we'll spend a day in the life of a Fresno State tennis player.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.